and welcome to video 4 of Edible Estates Project, brought to you by Cree and Monaghan Integrated Development. So in this week's video we're going to be looking at the beds, catching up with the growth of the plants. We're going to be looking at pests and diseases and then how to deal with those, and then also we're going to just share ways of linking in better.
Pods are starting to appear, and some might be starting to appear on some of your plants. These ones are quite flat, so you could obviously eat them if you wanted to, but really encourage you to wait. This one's starting to get a bit fatter and it's still not quite ready to harvest, but that one there you're going to take off?
I found a fat one, I think.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's see if I can open it.
Yeah,
I'm going to open it
in front of the camera. Whereas like this one's a little bit fatter, it still could do in a bit more time, but just to show you what's inside, you just click it open. Oh yeah, these are very small, but very sweet. They'll be so delicious. Slugs. We've been looking at this plant being eaten by slugs the whole way through the programme, so it's pretty much gone now. This plant we could uproot if we wanted. The roots are still doing good things for the soil, so we'll leave it there. As we talked about before, using eggshells, we've got more here, and really just trying to cover the whole of the bed with the eggshells so that it prevents the slugs being able to travel along. Other preventative measures are things like removing dead leaves from plants, because they love to eat the dead leaves. So if you have any dead leaves or debris, picking that up. And a few additional measures we've added. We are using a beer trap. So just a little bit of beer put in there in the evenings, and the slugs are really attracted to the sweetness of it. They come up, they drink it, and unfortunately they die. So they die inside the thing, and then we take the slugs out then the next day. Other options we're looking at are things like the calendulas. We put some more calendulas in. They're a little bit more established than the ones that we planted. And you can see on the third plant over here that a slug has already chopped the head off, but they're attracted to the bright colours, and the idea is that they'll go for these plants before and get their fill before they come to your other lovely brassicas. These ones are doing so well, so we're trying to keep them safe. Final option is slug pellets. I know many of you have been using them. We just encourage you to research and to get the organic slug pellets. We can put a link back up on the Facebook page, because the more toxic ones can be quite damaging for your own health, but also for pets or any young children that you have who might be accessing your garden.
At certain times of the year, the cabbage white butterfly can start to affect your brassica plants. Brassicas are all plants in the cabbage family: cabbages, cauliflowers, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, etc. You should have 3 brassica plants in bed 2: broccoli, cauliflower and cabbage. The white butterfly digs down deep into the soil around the root and lays its eggs. The eggs later hatch into caterpillars who love to munch on your brassica plants and are plentiful, so they're hard to remove by hand. So what can you do to prevent this from happening? One option is to net your brassicas before the white butterfly arrives. This should be done now, as their egg laying season is from July to September. Netting the whole bed that goes here might not be necessary for you, as you only have 3 plants. If you're vigilant and observant, you could also remove the caterpillar's eggs as they appear in the photo there, or you could wait until they hatch and then catch the caterpillars, or you can let them hatch and live out their life cycle. The kids might enjoy that.
this year. This is 3 years in. Super cool, isn't it?
For anyone with multiple plants, we would recommend netting as many of them as you can. If you decide to put a net on bed 1, this will also help to protect your strawberries. Once they are ripe, they are at risk from slugs on the ground as well as from the birds overhead. The cabbage net will protect from the birds as well. Many of us will heard about potato blight and have some idea of what it is and the damage it can do to our crops. It's a disease that affects the potato and the tomato families and is caused by a fungus that carries in the air. Potato blight usually occurs later in the summer and affects certain parts of the country more than others. Weather conditions have a lot to do with it. The fungus survives best in warm, humid environments. If your potato or tomato plants have been affected by blight, you will notice the leaves look singed or burnt on the edges. If you catch it early, you could simply remove the leaves. But if all of the leaves burn away, it may start affecting the potatoes underneath, so you should dig them up immediately. Be sure to remove all parts of the plant and dispose of it well, either by burning or burying it, as the spores from the fungus can stay alive and travel on the wind to infect other people's gardens and plants. So obviously prevention is better than cure, and we don't want to be at the stage where there's blight on our leaves or we're pulling out plants. So I'm just going to show you here a little trick that we use, a homemade option to keep our plants safe if there's blight forecast. It's actually on Met Éireann's website. On RT News you'll hear it sometimes. If there's conditions that are good for blight to spread, they'll warn you on the weather. So keep an eye out on that, and if there are, we can apply this little mixture. So it's basically a little bit of bread soda, a little bit of washing up liquid, and some water. So I fill this just from the top before I start it. What we're going to do is I use an envelope here, and I'm just going to put a tablespoon of baking soda, bread soda, just use the envelope then to get it off the spoon and into the bottle. Now this changes the pH, which is the acid value on the leaves. The blight doesn't like to land on a leaf that has the inhospitable environment. And then the washing up liquid, then just a little squirt, not much, just enough to make it sudsy, tiny bit sudsy, and give it a bit of a shake, and then you spray this on your plants if the blight warning is in effect, and the suds then help this water to stick to the leaves on the plant.
We're available to do a video call with you on WhatsApp if you're having any trouble identifying the plants in your beds, or you're not sure if something's a weed or a plant. It can be really hard to work it out sometimes, so we can get in touch that way. Myself and Gareth have both been taking calls with you, so you'll have our numbers saved, or else you can just contact us here on the Facebook page and we'll set up a call with you. All we would do is just walk around your bed with the WhatsApp video call, and we'd be able to see and help you identify. In addition to that, MID have kindly gotten their hands on some copper sulfate that you could use in terms of blight prevention. So if you would like to get a little sachet of that, just get in contact with Julie. It's Julie Clark. She's here on this page, on the Facebook page, but you can also email her on the email address below, and just let her know that you'd like to get some, and she'll post them out to you. So brilliant. Best of luck with it all. We'll see you next time.